Perfect now. I guess I'm good, right?
Yep.
Hello? Hello?
Hi, Julian, it's Patty. We're just waiting for everyone to show up and we're actually live streaming now. So,
Thank you. You always protect me.
okay, so hold tight. We'll be starting shortly.
Okay.
I believe we're just waiting for Ludi now. And we are live, so just one moment. We'll wait for Ludi and then we can start.
Hey, James, I do want to add something to the agenda. Patty actually reminded me earlier that she needs the minutes from the 7th. So if we could add that to the very beginning, that would be great.
Okay. All right. Well, Ludi makes 10 and it's 6 o'clock right now. So we can get started. So the bad news was we had to meet again, but the good news is we're going to be able to fly right through this. So first item on the agenda are the minutes from last meeting.
James, before we start, could I have a point of clarification, please?
What's that?
Do we have to vote to reopen this charter and then vote again to close it? Because my understanding is it's a closed deal sent to the council, so we are actually reopening this.
No, we don't. So does anybody have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make it. I'm sharing them on my screen right now.
Yeah, James, I'd like to know why we don't have to.
Well,
Sorry.
If anyone can explain that. I'm just trying to follow procedure, because it was my understanding it was a closed charter. It was voted on, sent to the council. We're bringing it back. It would make sense that we have to vote to reopen it and then vote to reclose it.
And James, Jules is absolutely right.
This is
That
not
is the
how it
procedure.
worked 7 years ago. 7 years ago, I mean, Patty, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe 7 years ago, they sent it to council. Council sent it back to them. They amended something and then they sent it back.
We had voted to do it. Council hasn't asked us to. And just because things happened a certain way 7 years ago doesn't necessarily make it correct.
all right. So Julian, here's the answer to that. I guess I don't know what the answer is because we never made rules surrounding that particular question. I think it makes sense as a practical matter to simply vote on these clerical issues. Basically, Bill wanted us to clarify some things, and that's what we're doing. If it turns out that's the wrong way to do things, then I suppose we can meet again. But my intention is to rip through these suggested changes by Bill, which don't change the substance of anything. They're merely clerical and clarifying.
Right, but it's still procedural. And so I would like you to check with Bill Lee if that was the proper procedure. And if not, we're going to have to come back again, vote to reopen it, and then vote to close it.
Okay, well, Julian, we're going to go forward with this meeting. Rian had a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting. I'm going to second that motion. Does anybody have any discussion on the minutes?
Please no.
All right, let's take a vote
I
on.
have discussion. Ron Merrill has discussion on these.
All right, go ahead, Ron.
Yes, as I said, just looking at these minutes, I was surprised we didn't get them when we got the agenda. So I'm looking at them in less than 2 minutes and trying to make a decision. And I'm very, very confused because I was reading in the Waterville Morning Sentinel on what happened in the July 7th meeting. And some of the things are not what I found to be very accurate, kind of inconsistent reporting. So I'm trying to scan down here and see the one that is in question. So I really cannot approve these minutes till I have time to analyze them.
Okay. And Rian, it's just one page, right? That's all I'm seeing.
Yeah, all you see on the screen is all that it is.
Okay. So I suppose since it's one page long, I guess let's take a minute to read it, and then we'll move to either discussion or a vote.
Can we fix that motion to adjourn 9-1 that actually didn't vote against adjourning? That was just that was a joke. So can we rectify that?
We can.
Thanks.
And in fact, since it was unanimous, I don't even need to list it.
All right, so we've had a chance to look at, does anybody have any discussion on the minutes?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead, Ron.
Yes, I was reading the article in the paper and it basically recapped what happened on our meeting on the 7th. And it discussed one of our 8 items in our package had to do with remove the council appointing vacancies and switch back to the public voting. And the paper said the initial vote on this was not unanimous and passed by the Charter Commission in a vote of 9-1, but in a final vote out, the dissenting member indicated their support, and I did not have their support, and it still should be 9-1, and I don't know how that got in there. We certainly didn't.
So Ron, that
Yes.
would have been on me. I must have misheard something that you had said. I know that a couple of people, Tom had said, Julian had said that if there were votes that they were on the opposite side of, line item votes, they now would like to be considered as voting. They approved the whole package. And I had thought that you had said that as well. And so I apologize. That was definitely my error there.
Well, I did say that two meetings ago when James brought up that he wanted, it'd be better if all 8 items could be more unanimous. And he said if we could change the 7-3s up, the 8-2s up, it would probably have a better chance of passing the package to the voters. But the next meeting that we had apparently went in the opposite direction, and two of charter members rejected the whole package. And I said it as a goodwill and harmony the meeting before that if we started to change these things, I would. But what transpired that evening, which I don't think was our proudest moment, I certainly am not going to change my vote.
Okay, so let's refocus here on the minutes. And let's move to a vote on the minutes. Kathy, how do you vote?
Well, James, I do want to make the point that you're ignoring Julian's protocol. You are wrong. This should have been opened up again. So
Kathy,
wrong.
just how do you vote on the motion to approve the minutes?
No.
All right, Julian.
I'm going to vote yes, but I would like you as the chair of tonight to contact Bill Lee and address my concerns because.
Tom, how do you vote?
Excuse me, you just cut me off.
No, Julian, this is a vote. This isn't a vote and then speak your piece. This is a vote. You voted yes. Tom, what's your vote?
I approve the minutes.
Ron, what's your vote?
What I see on the screen, I do approve. The answer is yes.
James is a yes. Hillary?
Yes.
Rian?
Yes.
Sam?
Yes.
Ludi?
Yes.
And Phil?
Yes.
All right, motion passes 9-1. Julian, I hear what you're saying, but to be honest with you, there is no protocol for this. We never made any rules surrounding this. We're trying to do a very simple thing here, and that is to correct a couple clerical errors and clarify one thing for Bill so that the package we sent to City Council makes sense to them. so that
So
they know what they're reading, and
my
so do the
question
people.
For you,
So you can vote against any motion that's brought up in this meeting, but we're going to go forward with it. Okay, we're not going according to what you think the protocols should be. We're going forward with this meeting.
okay,
So the first item on the agenda is, and by the way, Julian, you had plenty of time to put something like this on the agenda beforehand, but you didn't. So we're going to move to the first item on the agenda,
James,
second
you've
item, excuse me.
spoken. Can I respond to you, please?
No,
Chair?
we're not having a back and forth, Julian. We're
We're
moving to
not.
the first item on the agenda. So does anybody have a motion to adopt the interpretation in either paragraph A or B on the agenda?
Yeah, I'd like to motion that we adopt paragraph A and require a 2/3 vote for amendments and first reading, as well as the final vote.
I second the
All right.
motion.
All right, moving to discussion. Any discussion on that motion, Kathy?
Yes.
The question is, what is the difference between what we have currently? Are you able to explain that?
Yeah, when we took a vote on the budget vote, which we voted to require a 2/3 majority, it wasn't clear when we voted if we made that change to affect both votes that are taken on the budget, and we didn't really discuss it. Nobody brought up the fact that typically City Council takes 2 votes on ordinances, and so it wasn't mentioned. And so when Bill reviewed the final package that we gave him, that was a question that was raised in his mind. Hey, did the commission mean that they want a 2/3 vote on both the first and second reading, or just on the second but not the first? So he gave us 2 options to basically pick from. The one that Rian just introduced was that a 2/3 vote is required on both the first reading and the second reading. The other motion that Bill suggested was, again, a motion that required a 2/3 vote on the second reading, but not the first. So that's where we're at right now. Any other discussion on that, Kathy?
No.
All right, Julian.
No, I'm voting against it because is this the vote to change an ordinance?
This is discussion on Rian's motion.
Okay, which was, refresh me again. I can't see it in front of me.
Rian made a motion to adopt the Bill's suggestion in paragraph A. So just as I explained to Kathy, the motion is, do we require when the commission requires a 2/3 vote on or a 2/3 majority on a vote, do we mean that we require a 2/3 majority on the first and second reading, or just the second reading? Rian's motion is saying we mean that we require a 2/3 vote on both the first and second reading.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
All right, Tom, any discussion?
Just briefly, I imagine that what we would have intended to do was to get to 2/3 and to have that be consistent throughout the process. I don't necessarily, I know that when that was something that I was voting on the first time, that I wasn't considering that there was, a prior vote. So I would want uniformity here. I think we've been about uniformity throughout this process. We've been trying to get there. I think it makes sense that if there's a first reading, it should be the same voting requirements as final passage. So I'm going to support the motion.
Agreed. Thanks, Ron.
Did Bill Lee have any preference on either A or B?
Well, I mean, no, it was up to us. He basically gave us 2 options, and so we're the ones picking the options. He gave us the language for each option. So Rian's motion was that when the commission says we need a 2/3 majority on a vote, we're saying that this motion is saying that we're requiring a 2/3 majority on both the first and second reading, as opposed to just the second reading.
Yes, I'll go with the consistency and I will approve what Brianna said and select A.
All right, thanks, Sean. And I'm the same way. I think everybody probably assumed that we meant, that required a 2/3 vote on both the first and second reading. But when Billy got it, he wanted us to clarify that. So I'm definitely in favor of it. Hillary, any discussion?
Yes, I agree. I don't know if everybody was able to see it, but Rand did share the agenda on the screen now, so you can kind of compare A and B. I agree with what everybody has said. I think it's important to be consistent. I think we had examples where we ran into trouble with the 7-3 to get it to go to a final vote of 8-2, and we had confusion. So I think if we make everything consistent, it prevents things like that. So I'm in favor of it.
Thank you. Rian,
Yeah, I have nothing to add.
Sam,
Nothing to add.
Ludi,
Nothing new to add.
Phil.
No discussion.
All right, moving to a vote. Kathy,
Yes.
Julian,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
James is a yes. Hillary,
Yes.
Rian,
Yes.
Sam,
Yes.
Ludi,
Yes.
Phil.
Yes.
All right, motion passes 10-0. Next item on the agenda. So we set this up as a block vote, and Bill sent out the email to the entire commission again after he had reviewed our final product, and these were the basically clerical suggestions that he came up with. And so is there anybody who has a motion to accept these remaining suggested changes by Bill?
So moved.
I'll seconded.
All right, excellent. Any discussion on this? Kathy,
No.
Julian,
No.
Tom?
Just to ask, we would be voting on all, 9 of them as a single block, is that right?
Yes, yep, A through I on the agenda.
I think that's a great idea. So no discussion from me.
All right, Ron, any discussion?
No discussion.
I have none. Hillary,
I have none.
Rian,
Nope.
Sam,
Nope.
Ludi,
None.
Phil.
No discussion.
All right, so the motion is to adopt these suggested changes by Bill, subparagraphs A through I on item number 2 on the agenda. Kathy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Julian,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
James is a yes. Hillary,
Yes.
Rian,
Yes.
Sam,
Yes.
Ludi,
Yes.
Phil.
Yes.
Motion passes 10-0.
I motion
Um,
to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
Excuse me, James, can I address you as chair with a concern?
You're welcome to email me or call me after this,
Come
but
on, this is
what
a-
we're doing is we're going to adjourn. We accomplished the goal, which was to do exactly what we did. So if you want to reach out to me directly, that's fine, but I'm not going to take up everybody else's time with
This is baloney.
with that.
It's
So
meeting.
I'm gonna move to a vote on the motion to adjourn. You're welcome to vote against it. Kathy, how do you vote on the motion?
No, I think as chair, you need to hear,
It's a 1-minute concern. Stop being so arrogant and hear another member's concern.
Kathy, was that a no on the
No.
vote?
no.
Okay, Julian, how do you vote?
No, you're being a dick.
Tom, how do you vote?
I'm a yes, and a good night, everybody.
Bye,
Ron.
Tom.
I am a no because there was something else to take up before the August 4th meeting we have with the council.
Okay, James is a yes. Hillary,
Yes.
Rian,
Oh, I'm a yes.
Sam,
Yes.
Ludi,
Yes.
and Phil.
It looks like there's a couple of people who got a couple of things, so I'm a no. hopefully we can hear him and we can address. I think Ron has something that he wanted to share as well.
Okay, so is that a no?
Yeah, that's a no.
Okay, motion to adjourn passes 6-4.
Hey, good night, guys.
Good night.
I know.
Unbelievable. That's unbelievable. That is unbelievable. And I said I got something I want to bring up that we have to do with the August 4th charter meeting with the council. Yes. This is not going to look good, is it?